On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Fundraise.
To collect or solicit funds or donations, typically for a charity, nonprofit organization, or political campaign, often through events, campaigns, or online platforms.
Examples:
Fundraise a charity fund. Fundraise for a new shelter. The school is planning to fundraise to purchase new books for the library.
Galvanize.
To stimulate or shock someone into taking action, to cover metal containing zinc to protect it from rust.
Examples:
Galvanize steel. Galvanize the country. The motivational speech galvanized the team and gave them the drive to succeed.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Improve.
To make or become better.
Examples:
Improve a process. Improve the test score. We want to improve ties between our two countries.
Vine.
A climbing plant that produces grapes, any plant with a growth habit of trailing or climbing stems.
Examples:
A green vine. Vine of ore. A vine remains productive throughout the year.
Vision.
The ability to think about or see the future with imagination and intelligence, the faculty of being able to see.
Examples:
A prodigious vision. Telescopic vision. Driving is difficult for me because of my poor vision.
Movement.
A group of people working together to achieve a shared goal, especially a political, social, or artistic one, the process of moving or being moved, physically or figuratively.
Examples:
A circular movement. Movement of troops. The movement of the dancers on stage was graceful and elegant.
Purity.
The state of being undiluted or unmixed with anything else, the state of being free from immorality, especially of a sexual nature.
Examples:
The degree of purity. High purity. Higher purity requires additional equipment and energy.
Essential.
Indispensable, fundamental.
Examples:
Essential amino acid. Essential commodities of life. Trial and error is an essential part of education.
Visionary.
Having or showing exceptional foresight and imagination, not practical or realizable, speculative.
Examples:
Visionary business. visionary ideas. The visionary leader had a clear plan for the company's future.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Spearhead.
To lead or initiate an effort or campaign.
Examples:
Spearhead campaign. Spearhead movement. The CEO decided to spearhead the new project to ensure its success.
Non-profit.
Not established for commercial profit.
Examples:
A non-profit organization. Non-profit agency. Our law firm also focuses on non-profit activities.
Privilege.
A special right or advantage that only one person or group of people has, usually because they are rich and powerful in a society.
Examples:
A breach of privilege. Privilege of membership. In the Middle Ages, the right to hunt in the wild was the privilege of royalty and nobility.
Bold.
Brave, daring, and confident, not frightened of danger or afraid to say what you feel or to take risks.
Examples:
A bold design. Big, bold piano sounds. The effort to alleviate climate change needs bold action.
Ambitious.
Having a great desire to attain achievement, power, or wealth.
Examples:
Achieve ambitious goals. With an ambitious eye. Their company has been in business for a short time, but has ambitious goals.
Optimistic.
Hoping or expecting that good thing will happen or something will be successful.
Examples:
He is optimistic. Optimistic outlook. Most executives were optimistic about future business conditions.
President.
The leader of a republic, for example, the U.S., the person in charge of the organization, such as a company, university, club, etc.
Examples:
President Emeritus. Vice President for Finance. The club president does not have absolute power.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Newbie.
A person who is new to a particular activity, field, or community and is inexperienced or unskilled in its practices or customs.
Examples:
Newbie mistake. Newbie question. As a newbie to this company, I am still learning the ropes.
Candid.
Honest, straightforward, and frank in someone's words or actions.
Examples:
Candid conversation. In my candid opinion. The candid photography captured the genuine emotions of the moment.
Extraordinary.
Exceptional, unexpected, very unusual, surpassing the ordinary or usual.
Examples:
Extraordinary ability. Extraordinary weather. He narrated the extraordinary story of his adventure.
Undergraduate.
A student who is studying for their first degree at a university or other higher education institution.
Examples:
Engineering undergraduate. Undergraduate course. The class was composed of both undergraduate and graduate students.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Accidentally.
By chance or without planning.
Examples:
They met accidentally. Accidentally coincide. He was accidentally killed by friendly fire.
Curriculum.
A series of subjects comprising a course of study in a school, college, etc.
Examples:
A curriculum vitae. An academic curriculum. A committee was appointed to manage the reorganization of the curriculum.
Overhaul.
A thorough examination, evaluation, or inspection of something, often with the intent of making necessary improvements, a major reorganization or restructuring of a system or process. Verb, to thoroughly examine, repair, and improve something to ensure that it is functioning properly and up to standard.
Examples:
Overhaul process. Vehicle overhaul. The mechanic suggested an overhaul of the engine to improve performance.
Requirement.
Something that is needed or wanted.
Examples:
Meet requirement. School requirement. What is the entry requirement for this course?
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Wealth.
A large amount of money, property, or other things that someone or an organization owns.
Examples:
Majority of his wealth. Material wealth. The wealth inequality was unavoidable.
Importance:
The quality of being important and worthy of note.
Examples:
A man of importance. High importance. I stopped by the branch though I have no business of importance.
Relation:
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Complicated:
Involving a lot of different things or parts in a way that is difficult to understand or analyze.
Examples:
A complicated process. Become increasingly complicated. He did complicated pen and ink drawings in just a few days.
Squeamish:
Easily nauseated or disgusted, readily affected by or sensitive to unpleasant or shocking things, excessively fastidious or scrupulous about one's actions or behavior.
Examples:
Squeamish reaction. Avoid squeamish topics. She's a bit squeamish when it comes to handling raw meat.
Weird:
Extraordinary, unexpected, or difficult to explain.
Examples:
A weird dress. The state of being weird. My computer has been acting weird recently.
Split:
To divide, or to make something divide into two or more parts, especially along a particular line.
Examples:
Split a bill. Split a reward equally. Companies often split their shares to lower the stock price and encourage investors to buy.
Baggage:
The personal belongings that a person carries with them, particularly when traveling, any emotional or psychological issues or problems that a person carries with them.
Examples:
Emotional baggage. Baggage cart. I always pack light when traveling to avoid excessive baggage fees.
Mad:
Insane, especially due to a mental illness, very angry.
Examples:
A mad person. Gets mad easily. He was mad with joy to see the results.
Envious:
Feeling or showing envy, which is the desire to have or possess something that belongs to someone else, often accompanied by a feeling of resentment or discontent, characterized by jealousy.
Examples:
Envious gaze. Feel envious. She was envious of her friend's success in the stock market.
Guilty:
Feeling responsible for or having done something wrong or criminal.
Examples:
Feel a bit guilty. Guilty verdict. After much contemplation, the suspect decided to plead guilty to the theft charge.
Reconcile.
To find a way of dealing with two or more ideas, needs, etc. that are opposed to each other to agree and coexist.
Examples:
Reconcile these differences. Reconcile a dispute. Sometimes it is challenging to reconcile science and religion.
Tip.
The top or extreme point of something slender or tapering, usually a mountain or hill. A piece of advice about something practical, a small amount of money given for services.
Examples:
The tip of a paintbrush. Give the waiter a tip. I will introduce some tips on learning English in this class.
Complicate.
To make something more complex or difficult to understand, often by introducing new elements or factors.
Examples:
Complicate matters. Complicate a plot. Don't complicate the situation by adding unnecessary details to the report.
Profit.
Money that is earned in business or by selling things after deducting the costs involved.
Examples:
Gross profit. Make a profit. This business yields little profit.
Icky.
Unpleasant or uncomfortable, causing a feeling of disgust or revulsion.
Examples:
Icky feeling. Icky situation. The food left in the fridge for too long had an icky smell.
Embarrass.
To cause someone to feel awkward, worried, or ashamed.
Examples:
Embarrass political enemy. Embarrass my project. He looked for an opportunity to embarrass that actor in public.
Ugly.
Unattractive in appearance, unpleasant to look at.
Examples:
An ugly sound. Ugly building. The ugly truth was that he had been lying to her for months.
Examine.
To study or consider a person or object attentively and thoroughly to learn something about them.
Examples:
Examine the data studiously. Examine the issue. Initially, we must examine all project-related expenses.
Separate.
To force, take, or pull apart, mark as different.
Examples:
Separate video into chapter. Separate cream from milk. We need to separate the aspect of his personality from the part of his competence when making an investment decision.
Distinction.
A difference or contrast between similar things or people.
Examples:
Important distinction. Draw a distinction. I can't see any distinction between these two concepts.
Mortgage.
A loan secured by the collateral of a specific property, such as a house, that is repaid over a set period of time with interest, the legal agreement governing this loan.
Examples:
mortgage payment, fixed rate mortgage. They were able to purchase their dream home with a mortgage from the bank.
Invest.
To put money, effort, time, etc. into something to make a profit or achieve a result.
Examples:
invest in stocks, invest capital. The government should view children as national assets and actively invest in them.
Reframe.
To reinterpret, rephrase, or redefine an issue, situation, or question in a different way.
Examples:
reframe resource allocation, reframe problem. The therapist tried to reframe his negative thoughts.
Venture.
A business project or activity that is risky or daring.
Examples:
venture capital, a joint venture. The venture into the new market was risky, but it paid off.
Shocking.
Extremely or surprisingly bad, or causing a strong emotional response such as surprise or disgust.
Examples:
shocking response, shocking revelation. The news of the accident was shocking and left many in shock.
Rough.
Not quite exact or correct, having or caused by an irregular surface.
Examples:
rough and tough, rough estimation. The vehicle bounced along the rough mountain road.
Zip.
A fastener made of interlocking teeth or ridges that is used to join two edges or pieces of fabric. A sound or motion that resembles the sound made by a zipper when it is pulled, of a computer, a popular file compression and archiving format, short for Zone Improvement Plan, a system of postal codes used in the United States to help facilitate mail delivery more efficiently.
Examples:
zip code, zip file. She put her phone in the zip pocket of her backpack.
Transact.
To carry out or conduct a business or other transaction, to complete or fulfill an agreement, deal, or contract.
Examples:
transact internationally, transact in cash. I need to transact some business at the bank before it closes.
Donor.
A person or an organization that makes a gift of money, food, supplies, etc. to a cause or fund. In medicine, a person who gives blood or tissue or an organ to be used in another person.
Examples:
a transfusion of donor blood, an unnamed donor. His body rejected the liver of the donor.
Awesome.
Inspiring fear, admiration, or respect. Very good, nice, fun, etc.
Examples:
Awesome mental faculty. Have an awesome birthday. There is a lot of awesome nature and food in Hawaii.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Spouse.
A person's husband, wife, or partner in marriage.
Examples:
Spouse tax deduction. Spouse visa. The spouse of the politician was a constant presence at campaign events.
Alumni.
The plural form of alumnus or alumna, former students or graduates of an educational institution or program.
Examples:
Alumni network. Alumni relations. Many alumni of our college have become successful in their chosen fields.
Grand.
Important and large in size, scope, or extent.
Examples:
A grand meal. This year.
Mercenary.
A professional soldier who will fight for any country or organization that offers payment.
Examples:
Mercenary killers. A mercenary enterprise. It would be best if you did your work without any mercenary spirit.
Confuse.
To mistake one thing for another, to make somebody hard to understand.
Examples:
Confuse the listener. Confuse fantasy with reality. Her remarks confused the debate.
Skip.
To move along lightly and quickly, making a step from one foot to the other with a hop or bounce. To intentionally fail to do something which would normally do.
Examples:
Skip across the country. Skip breakfast. We skipped the topic because it was too complicated.
Fluff.
Soft, light particles or fibers that are often shed from fabrics or stuffing materials. Excessively or trivially sentimental language or ideas that lack substance or depth. Verb, to make something soft, light, or loose by shaking or stirring it up. To make a mistake or blunder, especially while performing or speaking in public.
Examples:
Fluff ball. Fluff formation. The teddy bear's fur was so soft and full of fluff.
Steer.
To control the direction or movement of a vehicle, to direct a course of action, to guide or motivate someone.
Examples:
Steer a steady course. Steer a conversation. The captain told him to steer the ship north.
Conversation.
An informal talk between two or more people to exchange their views, ideas, information, etc.
Examples.
Conversation in English. A friendly conversation. Your conversation reflects your thoughts.
Resonate.
To be filled with a deep echoing sound.
Examples.
Deeply resonate with the consumers. Resonate in the same frequency. The sound resonates well in this theater.
Philanthropy.
The practice of voluntarily helping the poor, especially by giving money.
Examples.
Philanthropy organization. Private philanthropy. Tech billionaires often spend the majority of their time on philanthropy.
Weed.
A wild plant growing where it is not wanted and in competition with cultivated plants.
Examples.
Pull up a weed. Weed management. The garden was full of weeds that needed to be pulled.
Finance.
The management of money, credit, banking, and investments, especially by a government or commercial organization, the branch of economics that studies the management of money and other assets.
Examples.
Finance Act. Manage my finances. Our company decided to hire an advisor who specializes in finance.
Thumb.
The short, thick digit of the hand next to the index finger. Verb, to travel by getting free rides from motorists.
Examples.
Thumb wrestling. Thumb a ride. He used his right thumb to press the button on his phone.
Trend.
A general direction in which something is changing or developing.
Examples.
An international trend. The trend away from television. The oil price continued their downward trend.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples.
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Hire.
To give somebody a job.
Examples.
Hire a guide. Hire a car by the hour. We should always be prepared to hire talented recruits.
Glaze.
To cover or coat with a thin layer of film, particularly a shiny or glossy layer, such as a layer of protective material on ceramics or a top coat of paint on a surface. To apply a thin, glossy coating to food, often using a sauce or syrup.
Examples.
Glaze a window. Glaze over eyes. The baker used a brush to glaze the donuts with a sweet, shiny coating.
Pitch.
The property of sound that varies with variation in the frequency of vibration, the degree of a slope, especially of a roof, short presentation for selling or sharing something.
Examples.
Make a pitch for a new product. A low-pitched sound. Her voice gradually increased in pitch.
Row.
An arrangement of objects or people side by side in a line.
Examples.
Criminal on death row. A row of cherry trees. He was the leader of the demonstrators and spoke out against the war in the front row.
Congratulation.
The act of expressing that someone has an occasion for celebration or the expression of pleasure at the success or good fortune of another.
Examples.
Congratulation on a promotion. A matter for congratulation. The congratulations from her friends and family were overwhelming after she won the championship.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples.
Obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Outcome.
The result or effect of an action, event, etc.
Examples.
Improved student outcomes. A desirable outcome. They awaited news of the outcome of the election.
Despair.
The feeling that there is no hope and you cannot do anything to improve a difficult situation.
Examples.
Despair at the future. Untold despair. His friend's death drove him to despair.
Unbelievable.
Beyond belief or understanding, and extremely surprising.
Examples.
Unbelievable beauty. Cause unbelievable damage. He drinks an unbelievable amount of beer.
Amazing.
Extremely surprising, especially in a way that you like or admire.
Examples.
Amazing advances. The most amazing feeling. The golfer recorded an amazing distance.
Rocket.
A large tube-shaped object that moves very first by a stream of gases let out behind it, used for space travel or as a weapon.
Examples.
Rocket attack against the enemy. Rocket fuel. The rocket launch platform is visible from this hill.
Mathematics.
The science dealing with the logic of quantities, shapes, spaces, and arrangement.
Examples.
A good grounding in mathematics. Mathematics competition. He has a flair for mathematics.
Equation.
The act of regarding as equal, mathematics, a statement that expresses the equality of two expressions by connecting them with the equal sign.
Examples:
The equation of poverty with ignorance. A chemical equation. In this class, you will learn how to solve quadratic equations.
Excite.
To make someone feel suddenly enthusiastic or eager.
Examples:
Excite the crowd. Excite rebellion. The news of her promotion excited her.
Profession.
An occupation or vocation requiring advanced education or specialized training.
Examples:
Profession choice. Healthcare profession. Being a doctor is considered a highly respected profession.
Awkward.
Making you feel uncomfortable or embarrassed, causing inconvenience or difficulty.
Examples:
An awkward expression. An awkward date. The awkward design of the interface made the operation difficult.
Naturally.
As might be expected, by natural manners.
Examples:
Naturally arising. Naturally regenerated forest. He was naturally gifted.
Elevator.
A mechanical device used for vertical transportation, typically in multi-story buildings, consisting of a compartmentalized platform that moves between floors.
Examples:
Elevator ride. Modern elevator. The hotel's elevator was out of order, so we had to take the stairs to our room on the 5th floor.
Grocery.
A shop that sells food and other household items.
Examples:
The grocery business. Run a grocery. I will go to the grocery store to buy food for dinner.
Tolerance.
The willingness to accept or tolerate something, especially something that is different or unpleasant.
Examples:
Religious tolerance. Tolerance for risk. The school's diversity program aimed to promote tolerance and understanding among the students.
Rejection.
The act of refusing to accept, use, or consider someone or something. In medicine, an immunological response that refuses to accept substances or organisms that are recognized as foreign.
Examples:
Transplant rejection. Rejection by community. His proposals were met with rejection.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Commit.
To do something illegal or wrong.
Examples:
Commit suicide. Commit mistakes. The military has committed an abuse of human rights.
Phrase.
A group of words that mean something specific when used together.
Examples:
Ready-made phrases. Noun phrase. We bought a Spanish phrase book.
Behalf.
Represent, advantage, benefit, the interest of someone.
Examples:
On behalf of our management. On his own behalf. I gave witness on her behalf.
Genius.
Someone who has exceptional intellectual ability and originality.
Examples:
A person of genius. A genius for music. Mozart was a musical genius.
Incredible.
Unbelievable, extremely large.
Examples:
Incredible amount. At incredible speed. Her response revealed incredible idiocy.
Big shot.
A highly important or influential person, someone who is considered to be powerful or successful, especially in a particular field or industry.
Examples:
Hollywood big shot. Political big shot. The CEO is considered a big shot in the business world, with a net worth of billions.
Authenticity.
The quality of being real or genuine.
Examples:
Authenticity verification. Lack authenticity. The museum's experts confirmed the authenticity of the painting.
Phony.
Not genuine, counterfeit, insincere, pretentious.
Examples:
Phony excuse. Phony smile. He's a phony salesman who promises things he can't deliver.
Torpedo.
A weapon that is designed to be launched from a ship, submarine, or aircraft and that is propelled through the water by a motor.
Examples:
Torpedo attack. Airdropped torpedo. The submarine launched a torpedo at the enemy ship.
Inviting.
Having an attractive or tempting quality that draws people in, encouraging or alluring in a way that makes people want to take part or participate.
Examples:
Inviting scent. Inviting atmosphere. The inviting aroma of freshly baked bread drew me into the bakery.
Committed.
Willing to put in a lot of effort, time, and energy into something, firmly believing in something.
Examples:
In a committed relationship. Strong and committed sales staff. Our company is strongly committed to meeting customers' needs.
Execute.
To kill someone, especially as a legal punishment, to carry out or perform an action, duty, etc.
Examples:
execute a bold strategy. Execute a double play. The mafioso who collaborated with the police was executed.
Core.
The most essential or fundamental part of something.
Examples:
the core of an apple. Core business activity. These gas nebulas are merely newborn galactic cores.